but you can't mix them because they have different. But they both have the same symbolism. They both deal with the planets. They deal with the zodiac and so on. The difference with Vedic astrology is that it's much more orientated towards predicting. It's much more orientated towards events. In a sense, it's a bit more mundane than Western astrology, because Western astrology goes very deeply into psychology and propensities and so on, whereas Vedic astrology is quite often more used for telling a person who they should marry, what kind of business they should do, whether they're going to be successful and so on. But it's the context in which it's said that's different. And it's this very specific ability to be able to predict the future that makes Vedic astrology much more accurate, much more pertinent.
What is the bigger context then that Western astrology sees itself in, say, different...
Well, as I was saying before, it's about karma. It's understanding that this one particular lifetime is as the musician said in the song, just one flick in the movie. It's just part of the bigger picture. But understanding the opportunities and the propensities that you have in this lifetime can help you to make spiritual progress rather than just material progress. Material progress you can cultivate by understanding astrology. You can cultivate your strengths and your propensities, and you can make a better life for yourself. Vedic astrology differs in that it gives you the opportunity to understand your higher nature, your spiritual nature, and this gives you an opportunity to set the whole thing in a higher context, so that you can become self-realized. You can make progress in understanding your relationship with the Supreme, and therefore in that context it makes things more meaningful, more continuous, more substantial.
So basically what you're saying is that it's part of a big holistic package which comes with the whole cultural perspective.
Exactly.
And astrology is focusing on one very specific area.
That's right, yeah. In fact, it's described, it's known as the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. The Vedic literature is very vast, and it deals with the whole range of human experience, from the totally transcendental to the minutely mundane. The idea being that there is a path for everybody to follow, whether you want to follow the path of a musician, whether you want to follow the path of a warrior, whatever. There is some way whereby you can follow that path and make spiritual progress at the same time.
How is that indicated? Can that be indicated or guided or alluded to in astrology?
An expert astrologer can see, by looking at a person's chart, where they are in the bigger journey.
Okay.
In what this particular lifetime, what the opportunities of this particular lifetime represent in the bigger story. They can, a really good expert astrologer will be able to tell you who you were in your last lifetime, and why in this lifetime certain obstacles have been placed in your path, or certain opportunities have been presented to you, so that you have an opportunity to make continued spiritual progress towards the ultimate goal of becoming self-realized and initiating your relationship with the Supreme, with the Divine.
Are some astrological Indian texts, like you said, most of it's to do with this very predictive, mundane, but like you said, a very good astrologer. So a very good astrologer, they must be looking at all the different aspects, not because some people, spiritually minded people, or on a very deep spiritual path, they're also going to go to astrologers and want to know. So they might want to not be interested in all of those things. So what can an astrologer tell them?
It's the same kind of thing, because making spiritual advancement is not simply a question of having no material qualities. It's a matter of knowing how to use those material qualities in a spiritual way. And in a sense, this is the ultimate conclusion of all Vedic literature. It's not that the goal of philosophy, the goal of self-realization is to have no qualities. The goal is to understand how to make all your qualities transcendental, and all your actions transcendental. And that is described in Vedic literature as a science of bhakti. Rather than trying to become free of the mundane world, one makes the mundane world into a spiritual realm by making your actions transcendental.